Intermittent fasting, 16/8. How to do it, how long? Very popular, intermittent fasting or fasting consists of alternating periods of fasting and periods of normal eating. For example, you can eat nothing for 16 hours 16/8 method by skipping the evening meal or breakfast. Practical guide to intermittent fasting with our nutritionists. Strict fasting, which consists of not eating for a certain number of days, being satisfied with water, broths and herbal teas, is not easy to put in place, must be supervised medically and over too long a period. Lead to deficiencies. To enjoy the well-being benefits of fasting with an easy and risk-free method, partial or intermittent fasting can be the solution. Quite flexible, it allows everyone to integrate it according to their habits and lifestyles. A 2012 study by researchers at the University of South Carolina reported that a low-calorie diet for a short period of time would promote immune system regeneration. For Olivia Charlet, micro-nutritionist and naturopath, healthy people can get started without risk. Just go gradually, connect to your feelings, see what is easier to remove dinner or breakfast. For people under treatment, it is necessary to be accompanied. Definition: what is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting or intermittent fasting is a diet that consists of alternating periods of fasting food deprivation and periods of normal eating. You fast for a certain number of hours or days depending on the protocol in order to put your body at rest. For example, we have intermittent fasting which consists of not eating anything for 16 hours. We then skip either the evening meal or breakfast, explains Olivia Charlet, micro-nutritionist and naturopath. Some also decide not to eat for a whole day, Monday for example. Be careful, throughout the fasting period if food is not allowed, you must continue to hydrate with water, tea, herbal teas, even coffee, but without sugar, specifies the micro-nutritionist. Several methods, for example, fasting for 24 hours once or twice a week, fasting according to the 16/8 method, rest of 16 hours without eating and meals over a period of 8 hours, and the 5 halves method. We limit ourselves to 500 to 600 calories over 2 days of the week, and the rest of the week, we eat normally. There is also alternate fasting where you fast every other day. What is 16/8 intermittent fasting? It's simple. Intermittent fasting consists of eating for 8 hours and abstaining for the remaining 16 hours. For example, you can skip breakfast, have lunch at 12 p.m. and finish dinner at 8 p.m. and this without time limit. Be careful though, the meals before and after the fast should not be gargantuan and should be part of a healthy and balanced diet. How to do intermittent fasting? Partial or intermittent fasting is flexible fasting. There are different ways of doing it. The idea is that everyone finds the method that suits them by listening to their body and their feelings. 2 meals a day. With regard to intermittent fasting or fasting, Olivia Charlet assures us that it's the easiest to set up because you can do it every day and there's no problem, only 2 meals a day. It's even very interesting, especially for lowering insulin. According to the expert, this type of fasting helps regulate insulin, which helps to destock fat. And even if the idea is not to go on a diet, it can lead to weight loss for people who need to lose it. How to do intermittent fasting? Going there gradually. We start by shifting the time of breakfast later and later to end up eliminating it once or twice a week. It has to be done by feeling. For some people it is easier to skip breakfast, for others it will be dinner. The important thing is not to eat anything for 4 p.m. Some people fast for 6 p.m. The important thing is to go at your own pace so that it becomes a habit. Fasting 24 hours a week, for some, sequential fasting is a little longer, lasting up to a day. Once again it aims to put the body on hold, to allow it to reset the counters to 0. This involves having a light dinner and then resuming eating 24 hours later with an equally light breakfast. Meals before and after fasting should not be gargantuan and should be part of a healthy, balanced diet. Throughout the fasting period it is important to stay well hydrated. Light broths are allowed. Some choose to fast 24 hours once a week. It's also interesting, but it can generate stress on the body in the long term. You have to choose your day carefully, rather a day of rest where you don't have to worry. How long can you do intermittent fasting? For those who decide to adopt intermittent fasting consisting of having only 2 meals a day as with 16/8 lunch and dinner or breakfast and lunch, know that it can be done without a time limit. As Olivia Charlet reminds us, there is no problem with having only 2 meals a day. It is even very interesting, especially for lowering insulin. According to the expert, this type of fasting helps regulate insulin, which helps to